Very good evening, Nishtha.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello.
Evening.
Very good evening, Nishtha.
Thank you. Sir.
Is the, is the audibility okay?
Sir, there's a bit of an issue, sir. So it's echoing.
How is it now?
So still echoing.
Maybe some network issues. I hope it will get okay very soon. Thank you for being with us. So we are delighted to have a person who have secured all India rank 2 in CA intermediate May 20 ask, because all India pass percentage, if I'm right, both groups was just 5% approximately.
Yeah.
So you've done a great job. So thank you so much for being here and ready to pass on your valuable suggestion, tips, strategy, and whatever name you call. Definitely, this is going to give a lot of value addition to all CA intermediate aspirants. Before we go into this, success strategy topic, I've understood from various rank holders, if you if you are in top 3, you'll be getting a call from ICA president. So definitely you should have also got a call. So did you believe that it was ICA president, or you thought someone was pranking you?
Sir,
How was your experience?
when I saw the unknown number, I thought someone was pranking me, but the secretary speaks to us first and then the president talks to us. Then the secretary was speaking in a very serious tone. So then I believed that, yes, not a prank call.
That's really great, and you cannot forget that moment in your lifetime. So thank you so much again. So coming back to the topic, so many students have that mindset that cracking CA intermediate both groups in first attempt is going to be a very difficult task. So how did you manage? Did you expect you will be getting a top 3?
Sir, the last part was a bit unclear, sir. Can you repeat?
Yeah, the thing is, please share your preparation strategy. So how did you manage to write all the 8 papers together? When did you start your preparation?
Okay, so my intermediate journey started before I appeared for my foundation exams also. So my foundation exams were in May 20, but the term got cancelled. And since it was the COVID period, so we were not allowed to go out. And I had studied for the CA foundations. I studied the CA foundation syllabus for like 6-7 months, and I was like, let me do something new. So I started with one of the subjects of intermediate. So July 20 and August 20, when we got to know that the May 20 exams has been cancelled and it will be in November or December. So then I decided, let's, just deviate for a few months, 1-2 months. And then I started with intermediate journey. So group 1 accounts, I started with group 1 accounts, and I completed the syllabus approximately September 2020. Then again, I went back to foundation, and then the foundation exams happened, and I was confident that I'll be able to clear. So January 21 was the time when I started with the other subjects of intermediate. So then the results came back in February, came in February 21, and then I was, pretty much decided that I'll give the exams in December. So I started with all the subjects and sequentially as and when it happened. Then November, the month of November, I got ill, and it was my sister's wedding also, and I was not able to write for the last 15 days before the exams. So then I decided, let me defer the term, because there's no point in giving the exams if I'm not able to write anything just 15 days prior to the exams. So I decided to defer the term, and then I gave the exams in May. So my journey, intermediate preparation, was approximately for 2 years or 1.5 years.
That is really fantastic, and it was a stellar performance, scoring 82% in CA intermediate, that too in first attempt. That is really amazing. Please share subject-based strategy, Nishtha, because that will be really useful. How to approach a particular subject. Should I refer any suggested materials, or is ICA material sufficient enough? What is your take on this?
Okay, so for me, I think ICI material is more than enough, and the ICI material, the books as in, and apart from that, I stuck to the RTP, MTPs, and the past year paper, whatever ICI has uploaded on its BOS portal. Then when I completed with that, I also went through the 37 assessment, the MCQ booklet. So pretty much, I was always focused on the ICI material. I took tuitions from various institutes, and even they provided me with their material. But pretty much everything was common with the ICI material. So my since foundation only, my approach was to stick to ICI material, because I knew that ICI will never, especially for theory subjects, I knew ICI will never ask out of the syllabus. The tuition material covers approximately everything, but just to be confident, more confident, I decided to stick to the ICI material. Subject wise, I'll go I'll speak about accounts and advanced accounts together, because it's a bit similar. So firstly, accounts and advanced accounts, the concepts needs to be completely clear, since most of these CA aspirants are also students who took commerce in 11 and 12. So the basics has to be clear. And if you just relate everything, it will be very much easier. Like I said, I started with inter accounts before I appeared for my foundation accounts. So accounts was something which was because it was known to us since like last 2 years. We knew it in class 11 and 12 also. We were very comfortable with the subject. So accounts, group 1 accounts, everyone finds it easy. It's comparatively easier than other subjects. My strategy was to firstly keep the concepts clear and practice as much as I can. Not repetitive sums just where the figures are changed, but to cover different types of questions so that all the concepts are cleared. What I did for accounts, so that my revision would be easier, I started to narrow down, not just for accounts but for other practical subjects also. When I was practicing accounts or I was doing my tuition classes, I started to mark the questions which I thought were important, or which I could not understand properly, or the concept, it was a bit tricky. So I decided to narrow down the syllabus. Like, I don't have to do the entire 50 questions again. There was a bit of a smart work also along with hard work. So I, from the first day only, I started narrowing down that, okay, if I'm studying this chapter again, these are the questions I have to see, and these are the questions I have to full-fledgedly write, and with all the formats and everything. So for accounts, that was my strategy. For cost and FM eco, I'll be talking together only. So cost and FM was also similar to accounts only, just narrowing down whatever I have to study again, and the keeping the concepts clear and sticking to the ICI material as well. And then immediately after each chapter, I used to go through the ICI, either MTP or RTP or past year question paper. Like, not like 4 or 5 terms ke pehle tak, I used to go through the material. And I used to mark ki, okay, these are the different questions which I have to do again, so that all the concepts are are refreshed in my mind. I don't forget anything. For theory subjects like law and audit, again I stuck to the ICI material. Since the ICI material is, as I have been told, it's a bit black and white, and people, it's very difficult to just open the ICI material and study from it, because it's thick also, and it's very monotonous because we don't have colored book or there colored anything colored. It's all black and white. So what I did was, the margin part of the page, I used to, because the entire page was not important, just a few things were important, like the range. For example, in law we have certain limits, so only that part of the page was important. And also, it's a bit repetitive if someone goes through the ICI material. What I encountered was that first the provision was given, then explanation was given, and then one illustration was given. So automatically the books become thicker. So I just marked, okay, from this page I have to study only that much. The entire other thing is either repetitive or irrelevant. So I used to narrow it down. On the margin parts, I used to write whatever important I think, whether it was a limit or some punishment figures. I used to do that. For audit, again chapter wise, as in when I completed one chapter from the ICI material, I made it a point to go through the back questions simultaneously, and then again stick to the RTP MTP, so that I know that whether I'm able to identify, because in audit we don't expect direct questions, we have case based questions. So case based question, one part is identifying what part of the chapter they are asking and then writing it down. So if the identification part is incorrect, there is no point, we'll get a 0. So uh, when I read the chapters, I realized that okay, I know everything, but when I saw the questions, I was not able to identify or figure out that they were asking from this particular concept. So to improve that, I used to go through the all the questions that ICI has asked from that particular chapter. In RTPs, they have categorized it chapter wise, so it's easier. In MTPs, I used to find out, what, if I'm able to identify the chapter as well, because that also becomes a bit difficult for audit. That was my strategy, and I used to make notes, a lot of written practice, because it's one thing that I know the answers, but to write it is a completely different thing. Whether I'm able to mention all the keywords, whether I'm able to present the answer in a way ICI is expecting. So that came from written practice. For EISSM, it's a bit we have to mug up things. So the approach was that every day, as in when I started my tuition classes, the approach was to study every day 2 hours EISSM, so that I'm able to retain the things. Because at one go, if I just sit and for 10 hours I just read it, I don't think that was possible for me to learn the things. So I knew that if every day I study it for 2 hours, I will be on a better position to retain the thing and at least write it. Also, I used to read it consciously, so that I'm able to understand what was written, and then trying to learn it. What I realized that many students just read it for 2 hours daily, but my approach was to learn it for 2 hours. So repetitive learning that helped me to retain the keywords or the concepts. So that was for EISSM. No, for SM also, SM is comparatively easier than EIS when we study. But what I realized that when I saw the question paper, SM was I found SM to be more difficult, because I had again the case based questions came. EIS is approximately we get direct questions only, all the questions, but SM is is a bit case based question. For that also, like I did for audit, I used to go through the RTP MTP's past year papers and the back questions as well, and then I used to understand, okay, so they are picking a single line from the text, so they are using this line to identify that concept. From the text only they used to pick the lines. So studying from the ICI material again turned out to be helpful in identifying the case based questions as well. For tax, okay, so tax I'll be talking about DT and IDT separately. For DT, when we start DT, while I did the classes, I was finding it to be easy, and but then as in when the chapters were completed, like I did salary, so salary was fine, there were many limits. Then I did PGBP, so again it became I was thinking that I'm not able to remember anything. So I started making my own summary notes, so that was very helpful. I made two summary for each chapter, I think, because I had extra time as well, because I deferred my term. But I started making summary notes in my own words. And what I also did, that just I was not focused on learning the provision, rather I was just seeing the provision, understanding it, and then immediately I went to the questions, so that if I'm able to apply it. And then as and when I practiced more, I realized that okay, I'm able to retain the important concepts, I'm able to retain the limits, I'm able to when I see the questions, it clicks me, okay, so these were the limits or these were the rates. So for direct tax, I did that. Also, while I was making the questions, like for the 14-mark questions that we have on total income, so it's not I did not expect to solve I did not expect that my entire question will be correct. I knew that few of my adjustments, they might be wrong, or I would miss something. So I practiced all the questions which were there in the ICI material or in the RTP MTP, and I started to realize that okay, few of my adjustments are correct, only some of the adjustments are wrong. So then I decided to make a separate copy, and where I wrote my mistakes, categorically. Like under PGBP head, I was making these mistakes. This provision was incorrect, or I was not able to identify this hidden adjustment. So I started preparing a copy where I used to write my mistakes chapter wise. So on the day before exams, I went through my mistakes, and when I sat on the when I sat in front of the exam paper, so that mistakes clicked, that I made that mistake, the mistake that day. I don't have to make it today again. So for direct tax, that was my approach. For IDT, the procedural part was a bit difficult, because we have to learn many things and we have to memorize many things. But the first module is relatively easier. So what I did, I started making charts. I used to break the provisions, just to make the provision easier, because IDT, we don't have to write the exact provision, we just have to write one part of the provision, or we have to solve questions related to that. So I broke the provision so that I could understand in a better way, and I could retain it as well. And I started making charts, and just daily I used to go through the summary notes or the charts which I have made, so that at least I remember the picture of it, so that it would help me in the exams. And I think I spoke about all the subjects. These were the 8 subjects, the strategy. And then towards the end of my preparation, that was in March or April, I started appearing for mock tests. I used to appear. I appeared for 2 mock tests at least for each subject, and for practical subjects, I appeared for more mock tests. And that was pretty much it. I had a revision strategy also that turned out to be very helpful for me. So when we study for these 9-10 months, or one year in my case, what happens is we have enough time to give to one subject, but then on the day before exam, we just have 1.5 days. So I made a strategy that when I was starting revising revising the subjects, I made a strategy that I'll complete my first revision in 4 days. So after I studied everything, self studies over, when 2 months were left, I decided that, okay, I'll start revising one subject, complete revision. I have to complete it in 4 days. So in approximately 1 month, I was able to complete all the 8 subjects. Then the next step was to complete the entire revision in 2.5 days. So again, in the next, I think 16-20 days, I was able to complete the second revision. And after each revision, I used to appear for a mock test, that if I'm studying everything, if I'm revising the entire thing, if I'm able to sit for a 100 marks paper. So this I used to just narrow down what I have to study, so that on the last day, that is 1.5 day, I'm able to complete the entire syllabus. I know where I have to focus much, where I have to give time much, and what I don't have to study. So revision strategy was that.
Thank you, Nishtha. You beautifully summarized. At the end of the day, it is a great thing which all CA Inter students has to remember. Not only Inter, even for final as well. Our ICA study material plays a pivotal role. So even though we have so many reference material, which our own academy or where you might be going might provide you, but nothing can compromise our CA Institute study material. So that is a great, key driving point which you have emphasized here. Thank you so much. So normally, if I see from student fraternity, managing that day of exam, say for 3 hours, definitely is going to be a quite pressurized one. So there, you'll be subject to a lot of pressure. Chances are there where I might have come across different cases where student, even though they have done really well for the 6 months period, but due to some pressure, inbuilt pressure, they tend to forget what they have read. So how did you overcome that, a sort of tension, or what do you call exam fear? So what did you do to overcome that?
First, those 3 hours 15 minutes is a completely separate, and it's more difficult than these 1.5 year that we study for. So that is the mental state or the calmness level that we require in that 3 hours 15 minutes is completely different. So when I appeared for mock test, I was in a position that okay, this is my ICI paper and I have to be prepared for it. So while I was appearing for my mock test, that was one thing that helped me, because when I appeared for the mock test, the question paper, I did not see it. That was a completely new question paper. Either ICI that either the MTP that ICI released for our term, or some other question paper. So when I sat for that paper, I was just thinking that this is my ICI paper and I have to give my 100% 3 hours 15 in these 3 hours 15 minutes. And secondly, I can't deny that I can't deny that I did not face any pressure. Even I was under a lot of stress, even though I appeared for mock test. What my strategy was that I'll do something that calms me down on the day of exam. So this for me, what worked was I saw a video 10 minutes of meditation after before every exam, around 11:30 12 p.m. I used to watch that video for 10 minutes only. I used to just shut my eyes and I did not think about the exams at all. I was just concentrating on the video, and it used to calm my situation. When I sat in front of the question paper, even I encountered some questions which I had not expected or I did not know. So my strategy was that either I'd leave it out. We have the option of leaving the question. So either I leave it out, and if I had to appear for the question, I thought that I will not give much time to it. If I do not know that, I'll leave it for the last. If I have time, I'll think about it, or I'll just ignore because the entire question was not difficult. Just a particular adjustment was difficult, or 2-3 adjustments were difficult, 2-3 points were difficult. So what I thought that I'll just ignore that and I'll just write that. During those 3 years, my mindset was that the entire 1.5 year journey will result down to this. Like, these 3 hours is what I have to prove what I have done. So either I can just stress about something that I don't know, and I can just spoil my paper, and I will not achieve that also, which I could have done due to the stress. So that was the mental state, that whatever happens, at least I'm passing. I saw the question paper, I wrote for 40 marks, and I was like, okay, 40, I got 40. I'll be able to clear the paper. I'll pass the paper. And now above 40 is what, I can just go and like 40 to 60. If 60 is done, okay, 60 above 80. So that was my approach. I did not sit with any preconceived expectations or any this that I have to secure 90 plus or I have to secure 60 plus in this subject. I was like, at the time I sat in front of the paper, at the time I entered the exam hall, my mindset was, I have to secure 40. If I secure 40, my thing is done. Aggregate, okay, in few subjects, because some of the subjects are our strengths, so aggregate will be done. But if I sit for just thinking about 40, I think the stress automatically disappears. So that was my mindset.
Thank you, Nishtha. So another common question which is getting popped up in students' mind is that, especially in Group 1, cost and management accounting, and similarly in Group 2, advanced accounting, many students feel it is very lengthy, and they are finding it difficult to complete it on time. So have you taken any extra efforts before the examination to ensure that you complete the paper on time?
Yeah, so these mock tests, again, I appeared for many mock tests. So these mock tests were a big help in telling me that whether I'm wasting much time on one question or not, whether I'm able to complete. Because initially, when I was not, like, when I appeared for my first mock test, even I was not able to complete the entire 100 marks in 3 hours. So then I just self-analyzed and I thought that, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not able to complete the paper? So then I realized that, okay, I have to give a certain time limit, like 30 to 40 minutes, not more than 30 to 40 minutes I have to give to a particular question, 20 marks question. So that was my approach, that okay, so that will help me to complete the 100 marks paper in 3 hours 15 minutes. Also, the 15 minutes that we get before the exam is extremely important. because okay, 5 minutes we can just read the paper, and we'll read the paper, and we'll realize, okay, so this is the question that we have to leave out. The last 5-10 minutes which we have, what I did was I selected which question I am the most confident with, and I wrote all the rough work and everything. I solved it in my question paper only on the calculator, and I just found out all the figures. So that also saves a lot of time, so that we don't have to recheck our first question whether I am doing it correct or not, because once already we have done it in the question paper. And then once again, I when I did, and if the answer was matching, I thought that yes, this is 100%, I have completed the question, it's the correct answer. So I did not waste much time. Also, if I was not able to recollect something on the day of exam, whenever I saw the question, I whatever my instinct said, I wrote it. I did not pay much attention to it, or went into or thought about it. What was that? What was that? Whatever my instinct, whatever my gut said at that point of time, I believed it, and I just wrote it. I knew that I can't give much time to that, because I have the rest of the question paper also to appear. So that was how I completed my 100 marks paper.
Great, Nishtha. Great. So another question is that normally even CA question paper carries this word. Our working notes it's are very important. So our answer, working note should form part of our answer. So can you please tell to your juniors how did you present your paper, or what is your view on the working notes? So did you put working notes serially numbered, or how did you present? Was it something you taken it, or you written it on a separate page, or as a part of the main answer? How did you do that working notes? Because even if our main answers goes wrong, we used to say based on the key, it is only the stepwise marks which examiner will allocate to the students. So how was your working notes, and what is your take on this?
I kept the working notes separate from the main answer. First, I started with the main answer, and I used to leave 2-3 pages, and I used to start with the working notes. Serially, when I start solving the question, as in when I thought that okay, this requires a separate calculation, I used to do it in my mind, but then I thought that it's better to write it in a working note and just write, because since the question we are solving serially, the working note automatically comes out serially only. So I did not mix the working note and the answer. I kept it separate.
Great. So especially a day before exam, as you were pointing out during our initial conversation, we'll be having approximately 1.5 days. So it is very difficult to go through the entire subject even in the form of revision. Definitely, you might be having some plan like ABC analysis, where you might have set apart certain topic which you it. Are there any specific topics like that which you want to bring it to your juniors' attention?
Actually, I did not do any ABC analysis. I was like, I have to complete the 100% revision of the entire subject in these 1.5 days which I have. So yeah, I started the revision with the easier subject, because on the day of the exam, when we come from our first exam and then we have to start studying for the next exam, I kept the chapters light, which were my strengths or which were comparatively easier. On the main one day were the difficult or the most important, or where I was not confident, were those chapters. And then on the day of exam, morning around for 2-3 hours, I used to keep the chapters. I used to keep it that even if I don't study, I am able to retain the concept, or it is easy. So even if I don't give another revision, I'll be able to answer in the exam. So I kept that for the last day. If I have time, I'll do that. But what I was not confident with, or what I was not comfortable with, or which I was I was not completely satisfied with my preparation, I used to do it in one day, and that was my strategy. But I did not do any ABC analysis, because I thought that that would waste more of my time, and there was no guarantee also, because right now when we see the question, when I saw the question paper, I don't think it was anywhere around all the ABC analysis that my friends have done, because it was so unpredictable, all the questions. So I personally never believed in the sample studying or ABC analysis. Whatever my gut said, whatever my instinct said, that this is the chapter which I am not comfortable with, or it's comparatively difficult, I'll do that with whole concentration, with more efforts. So that was how I did it in 1.5 days.
Great, Nishtha. So one more question is that normally how many hours in a day you spend for CA inter preparation? Another question is that did you leave any subject? I mean, any particular topic on choice? Whether students do have the lenience of leaving anything on choice, or is it? What is your feel on that? Should study the entire content and spend? I have some question of leaving few topics on choice. What is your say on this?
First question was how many hours I studied, right?
Yeah, true.
I did not study for 16, 17 hours like most of the rankers toppers do. I was consistent from the day one that I have to study for 12 to 13 hours each day from day one. That would suffice for that 16, 17 hours that people do towards the end of the journey. So 12 to, and that was from day one. So when I did my classes also, apart from class, I used to do 3 classes per day, and then I used to take out time for self study as well. So 12 to 13 hours each day. Naturally, during the last months, that will be April and May, it increased to I think 14, 15 hours. But that was also not completely effective. Effective hours were 13, 14 hours only towards the end. And about leaving certain topics on choice, I personally did not do that. My focus was to complete everything, because I knew if I leave that, that is only going to come in exam. So I'd lose out on marks. And what I have studied, what I have put so much of my brain into, that will not come. And what I leave, that will only come. So what's the use of studying? Because there is no guarantee, or no one was taking guarantee. Okay, this is what is coming, and this will 100% it will not come. So my approach was to study everything. Or if I was not able to understand something at all after giving hours to it, then maybe I left it. But initially, I did not plan on leaving anything, or even after reading something, I did not plan on leaving anything. I used to understand it. If there was something that I was not comfortable with, at least I knew the concept, that I would be able to write something in the paper if that question comes. So that was my approach.
Great, Nishtha. You summarized everything, in a beautiful manner. So at the end of the day, practicing our institute study material, RTP, MTP papers, and taking up mock test to gauge ourselves, where do we stand, what all the concept where we lack. So these things play a very pivotal role. Another common, I won't call it as a mistake, but many students used to do that. After the examination, they discuss the answers with their friends. You never know who is right, but unfortunately, if I come to know that my friend answers and mine are different, definitely it is going to consume my efforts. It is going to definitely psychologically it is going to affect my next exam preparation, completing your exam. Straight away you jumped into preparing for the next day exam, or you discuss with your friends regarding your previous exam performance?
No, I did not discuss it with my friends. I just used to tell that, okay, I'll pass in this paper. And particular specific question I did not pick at all, because I knew I have just 1.5 days for the next exam. As it is very less. If I start discussing, and if my mistakes start to pop out, I will not be able to concentrate on the next paper. So I never analyzed the paper. I never discussed any of the questions with my friends. I was like, okay, I'm getting 40. I'll pass this paper. So there's nothing much to think about it. I have to focus on the next paper. Also, if some of the papers were not did not go good, for 1 hour maybe, till the time I reach home, I might think about it, or I might just do something like listen to music or talk to something, but not about the paper, just normal things, so that I could just forget it out and I could concentrate on the next paper. And if the paper did not go good, my thinking was that, okay, if I'm losing out 5-10 marks on this paper, I have to study more nicely for the next paper, so that I could cover that 5-10 marks in the next paper. So that was what I did, even if the paper did not go good.
Thank you, Nishtha. So in Sanskrit, the term Nishtha refers to devotion. So even though entire people might be knowing Nishtha as AR2. Now you're brought to the CA fraternity. What all the religious practices, devotion, sincerity, which was behind that AR2? Because at the end of the day, that is the main reason why we invited you, so that you can share your success strategy. So that what all the do's and don'ts, if the upcoming fraternity they follow, definitely success will come and fall into your pocket. So looking forward to meeting you again on the same platform as a qualified chartered accountant soon. So once again, thanks a lot. So you have spent your valuable Sunday with us. Definitely this would have been eye-opening session for all the CA intermediate students. So regular practice, institute study material is Bhagavad Gita, Bible and Quran, and RTP and MTP papers are sufficient enough to practice and other things out you rightly emphasized. So once again, thank you so much, and all the very best for your future endeavors as well.
Thank you, sir, for having me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nishtha. Thank you.